Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. I just got done doing my taxes, so yeah, I'm not very happy to say the least, but for today's video, we are going to talk about some basketball, which always cheers me up personally. So pretty much, the NBA trade deadline is now over. So you would think that for the most part, teams' rosters are going to be set for the rest of the season, but in a lot of cases, a team might trade for a player, they might have somebody on their roster they don't really see part of their future, so they end up buying them out. And there's something called the buyout market. So up until a certain point, I believe it's sometime in March, maybe a little bit before that, NBA teams can sign these buyout players. Guys like Enes Kanter, who's getting bought out by the Knicks, Zach Randolph, who got bought out by the Dallas Mavericks. Some really big-time game-changing guys that can be, hit or miss for a roster. So for today's video, we are going to go through this list that I found on my computer here of some of the bigger name buyout players. We're not going to go through every single player right there because, guys like Manu Ginobili, I mean, come on, man, Manu Ginobili, whatever, right? And we're going to kind of like talk about where their best fit would be if they decide to sign with another NBA team this season, which in a lot of cases, a lot of these guys are going to end up on NBA rosters. And I just want to say something real quick here before I get going on this. Thank you guys so much. I did a live stream of the NBA trade deadline, and there was 5,500 people watching, guys. That is an insane number for me. I do want to start doing more face cams and things like this. I will say, if you can drop a like on this video, just so I know you enjoy the face cams. For the longest time, I was unable to do face cams. People just rejected the idea here on my channel, but I'm really trying to branch out and do some things outside of my normal content, just do discussion videos like this. I absolutely just love talking basketball. So yeah, I'm sure there's still a big amount that do not like face cams, but it's not gonna be an everyday thing. It's gonna be an every now and then type of thing, and I think it'll be good for me. I think it'll be good for my channel. So here we go. Let me make my bitch ass head a little bit smaller, wish I could do that in real life because this bitch ass thing is as big as an actual basketball. But yeah, so let's get started on this. The first player that's listed on my screen right here actually got picked up by a team, and that is now he is a member of the Indiana Pacers. And that is, where's he at? Yeah, Wesley Matthews. I thought this was a fantastic fit for both sides. As we all know, Victor Oladipo went down with an injury, out for the season. Such a sad story. But Wesley Matthews, I still think, in the right system, could be like a 16-point per game scorer. On the season, as of right now, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. That's about where he's been at for the past few seasons. I know he's had some injury issues. We go right back to his Portland days when he was completely healthy, 16 points. So maybe that's a little bit of a stretch now at the age of 32. But still, if he can drop 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and kind of just like split the load out there with Tyreke Evans, that's a W for both sides. So, I mean, I'm happy for Wesley Matthews. Do I expect him to be there long-term? I'm not sure. I think he's really gonna be trying hard because this is like a tryout for the roster going into the offseason, but also maybe he gets the roster spot over Tyreke Evans after this season when Victor Oladipo is back. For the next player listed, let's go to free agents over real quick here, and that is, he's far down this list. I don't know why he's the number one guy listed on here, but we saw here. Oh my God, do we see this far down? Yeah, where we at, man? Where we at? Maybe I passed him. I mean, it is Robin Lopez. Has he not officially been bought out yet by the Bulls? Maybe he hasn't officially been bought out yet, but he's supposed to. That would make more sense. Yeah, there we go. Robin Lopez, reportedly supposed to be bought out by them. As far as teams showing interest, I mean, the Golden State Warriors are, as they are always trying to just find like these plug-in centers they can use. But when I think about Robin Lopez, I think about like you're more of a traditional center out there. He's tried being like his brother Brook and not really shooting the threes very well. But a guy that's going to play around the basket, grab you some rebounds. Not this year, though. He's not really playing a lot this year. But yeah, I mean, you go back to like 2 seasons ago. Decent score on the inside, decent rebounder, can block some shots. I will say, the best fit for Robin Lopez, believe it or not, is actually playing with his brother on the Milwaukee Bucks. And the reason I say that is because you look at this roster, and, Brook Lopez listed as a center, but the way he's playing this season, he's kind of like a polar opposite of Robin in more of a sense where he's more of a three-point shooter now and kind of more offensive oriented. But he's the only center listed. I think that would be a nice little 1-2 punch, having Brook Lopez go into the game as the spacer, but having Robin Lopez going into the game to take on some more of the, centers out there that might need some help from actual defensive-oriented guys. I feel like that would be a nice fit. The next guy listed is somebody else that was just picked up by another team, and me as a Detroit Pistons fan is extremely happy about this. I still think he's listed as a free agent in this game, though, but he got picked up in real life, and that is Wayne Ellington. The fact that we no longer have Stanley Johnson, and we get to replace him with a professional like Wayne Ellington, I think goes a long way for this roster. Now, I do wish we would have kept Reggie Bullock just because it would have been nice to have like Wayne at the 2 and Reggie Bullock at the 3. That would have been some great floor spacing out there. But at the same time, I mean, I love this dude as a player, guys. Like on Phoenix this year, 8 points per game, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, was not really part of the rotation big time, but we know he's good to be like at least around like a 39% three-point shooter, which is what the Pistons need. They need spacing, they need consistency, something they were not getting from Stanley Johnson. His defense, he's averaging a steal a game. I'm pretty sure he's a good on-ball defender, so I'm happy about it, guys. Getting a beacon of consistency like this is going to be nice for the team. The next free agent in the buyout market listed, and that is a guy that was just let go the other day, I believe, and that is Markieff Morris. So yeah, Markieff Morris, he was traded to the Pelicans. The Pelicans released him, did not really see him as part of their future, which is understandable. I mean, that's a team that's, once Anthony Davis is off there someday, is going to be going to a rebuild. So they don't really have room for a 6'10", 245 face-up 4, 75 overall in 2K, 29 years of age. It's just like, he doesn't really fit that. But he does fit somebody out there, I will say. I mean, he's still a decent scorer. His three-point shot at about 33% this season. If he can get back to that 37%, there will be a lot of teams out there that will seek him out. He's always a pretty decent post-up player. Rebounding is always, decent. Defense is decent. I would like to see him go to the Los Angeles Lakers. I feel like the Lakers kind of did not get all that lucky when it came to the trade deadline. And I feel like a guy like Markieff Morris would know his role on the team as opposed to like a Carmelo Anthony. But I don't know, man. I thought it would just be a nice fit. Have Kuzma start at the 4 and have Markieff Morris come off as a backup power forward, which I don't think they currently have because they just they traded away Michael Beasley, although Beasley could very well re-sign back with the team because he was actually bought out himself. Okay, the next buyout player, definitely the best one available as of right now, that is Enes Kanter getting bought out by the New York Knicks. So on this season, 14 points, 11 rebounds per game, 2 assists. I still think he's one of the better centers in the NBA. I don't really know why the Knicks have elected not to invest in him. Maybe they just don't think he's part of their future plans, but I think he said the best himself. He said, the Knicks treat me like I'm in my 40s. He's only 26. This man, in theory, is not even in his prime. I would say 27 is usually the prime for basketball. But yeah, so it's like there's a ton of teams out there that are going to want to utilize a guy like this. And I'm thinking the best fit, and actually last I read there was mutual interest, Enes Kanter going to the Boston Celtics. Now he would have to come off the bench yet again, which maybe he's okay with that. I think in a lot of cases he was benched by the Knicks this season, but still putting up really good rebounding and scoring numbers. But just because he's more like one of those like bigger husky type of centers out there, which is it's not like quite as sought out anymore. But you put him on there to back up Al Horford, and that gives your teams 2 different centers to work with, as kind of like the same case with the Toronto Raptors, where Marc Gasol is more of like the traditional bigger center out there, but Serge Ibaka can kind of play like the small ball role. I feel like they can use that with Enes Kanter and Al Horford. It would just be a good fit. I mean, it would bring them some more scoring off their bench, and all of a sudden you got Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Enes Kanter coming off your bench with Marcus Morris. I don't know if he's starting these days or not. Let's just say though, man, that's probably, in my opinion, the best bench in the entire NBA. He would need to sign probably for not the largest contract. Oh, I don't even think about it, man. They also got Marcus Smart on that team too. So yeah, they would have a lot to work with. I feel like that's probably the best fit for him is the Boston Celtics. And then next up, we have another free agent. Well, of course, that's what the video is about. And that is Carmelo Anthony. And this one, I honestly don't know what to do with him. There's a lot of people that thinks he's just completely washed up. His style of play of shooting mid-range shots and posting up no longer fits in the NBA. It's so much hard to believe, man. We're in the 2019 season. Just a few years ago, this guy was dropping 22 points a game on the New York Knicks. And then, like, all of a sudden, nobody wants him. I know he's 34, same age as LeBron. But I feel like the best fit for him, I mean, if we're being honest, guys, if LeBron James can't get something out of Melo, nobody can. So I feel like he needs to go to the Lakers. He needs to be with his brother, LeBron James, out there. And just go with that, I guess. I mean, I thought the same thing with Chris Paul, but it just did not work out with that either. So I don't know, guys. You let me know in the comment section below. Where do you think Melo should go? Is it time for him to retire? Do you think the Lakers have a chance at utilizing him? Or is it just, that's just it? He's just going to be gone and that's it, man. Another player listed on here is Michael Beasley. So Michael Beasley on this season, 7 points, 2 rebounds per game, pretty much fell out of the rotation for the Los Angeles Lakers. Has not been playing the past few weeks. Not really knocking down threes at 17%, but we know he's very capable looking at his past few seasons. As far as him going to a team, You know, I was kind of thinking about this one a bit, and I was considering the Minnesota Timberwolves where he had his best season ever at 19.6 rebounds. Now, this was about 9-10 years ago now, but still, you look at that Timberwolves team at the 4th spot, and as of right now, they have Taj Gibson right there, Anthony Tolliver, who is decent, I guess, but I feel like Michael Beasley allows them to stretch the floor out a bit more, and it just, maybe his confidence will be there playing for that team again. I don't really know, man, but Michael Beasley, the way he's playing right now, he's an offensive only type of guy, and if he's shooting 17% from 3, he's not doing his job. He's not gonna get on a roster. Next up, we have another player listed is Shelvin Mack. Yeah, Shelvin Mack got bought out. What's the saying? Expected to be waived by the Hawks. So when you get waived by the Hawks, it's not looking too good for your future out there. He's 28, 74 overall point guard on 2K on the season. 8 points, 3 assists per game, 36% from 3. I can't really think of an absolute great fit for him. I mean, I was kind of going through some different teams, and nothing really came to mind. I mean, maybe the Dallas Mavericks, because I think the Mavericks right now, the only only real point guard on their team is Trey Burke and Jalen Brunson as they trade away Dennis Smith. So maybe he has a chance there to play for a backup spot. J.J. Barea out for the rest of the season. Although that team might just run Luka Doncic at the point guard position and be fine. So yeah, that's another player. We got also another one that I guess this website thought was worth mentioning. I mean, there's a ton of great guys out there, but yeah, I can't even find them listed, guys. Ben McLemore, I don't know what's going on with him, so I'm not even going to talk about him at all. And now we get the 37-year-old Zach Randolph. What would be a good team for Zach Randolph? So he has not even played this season, was not even on the actual roster. So it makes sense that he would end up going to a contender because he obviously has fresh legs under him now. And just last season, 18 points, 7 rebounds per game, 34% from 3, which is near his career high. Man shot 8% this season. Oh my God. Yeah, saying that's his career high is not really saying a lot, but he comes from more like the grit and grind era of basketball where a lot of power forwards were posting up and not really shooting threes. But regardless, man, like Zach Randolph, there's plenty of good contenders out there. You guys let me know in the comment section below where would you like to see him go to. I feel like maybe the 76ers would be a good fit just to give them another player to work with off their bench as they trade away a lot of it in that trade to get Tobias Harris and trade away draft picks and stuff like that. So I like Zach Randolph, you know, backing up Tobias Harris or Joel Embiid for the rest of the season. I think that'd be nice. And we also, I think this is probably the final one we'll look at right here. Marcin Gortat waived by the Clippers. Now, I've never liked Marcin Gortat. I thought going back to the Washington Wizards, he was one of the worst centers in the NBA. But what will you get out of him right now? You're not going to get much. You're not going to get much scoring. You might get a few rebounds here or there. Defense, I mean, he might block a shot every once in a while. But what he's really good at, actually, is setting hard screens. And what's a team we know that uses a lot of screens? That would be the Golden State Warriors, or maybe even the San Antonio Spurs. I know Greg Popovich likes having his team move around a lot too and just really focuses on passing the basketball. But no, man, Marcin Gortat on the Warriors makes good sense to me just because he wouldn't need to play a lot, but when he would go in there, it would give them a veteran presence, and that's my prediction for the team that he probably ends up going to. So, yeah, a lot of good players to work with. What teams they go to, I don't know, but I just feel like these were, you know, some decent options out there. So let me know in the comment section below, guys, where do you think some of these top-notch buyout market players are going to end up as? And if you guys like this video, be sure to drop that like, subscribe to my channel. Be sure to check out my second channel, Extra Crispy, where I do face cam over there every single day.